You know what today is? It's not just any Monday. It's Sports Equinox Monday. What does that mean? Every single major league sport in here in America, NBA, MLB, NFL, NHL, and MLS as well, have a game on today. And guess what? We have a few winners that we're going to break down, including a Sports Equinox parlay of the day. I'm going to give that to you guys on today's episode of the Free 3. Let's get into it. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video where I'm breaking down my favorite picks and plays of the day. As we're just trying to get to that bag together and we're trying to get to that money. Over the weekend, we had an up and down kind of weekend here on the channel. It wasn't too great, but it wasn't too bad. On Friday, high notes went 2-1 on the day. Sangoon's rebounds cashed in. Shoes pass yards cashed in. Yankees first 5 money line. We were 1 out away. Tough to lose on that one, but it happens. 2-1 on the day there. 3-3 on the college football Saturday slate. We kind of split it. We started off the day early with Virginia Tech and Indiana. That cashed. Utah State on the money line cashed. Garrett Nesmaj's pass yards for LSU. That cashed. Our losses on the day was Utah State team total over. That was rough because I actually had bought it juiced down at 27.5. And guess what? It finished at 27. So that one really hurt. Cam Ward's pass yards, Miami. They just keep getting their breaks, but I'm not going to dwell on that. And then our Big Ten teaser of the day, Wisconsin ended up losing by more than 13 points there, so that blew our teaser. And then yesterday, not our best day, but shout out to Jameis Winston, my boy. Oh, man, I'm glad to see him doing good and getting the spotlights. I mean, he is so funny to me, but he was able to cash in for us yesterday on his pass yards. And then Javonte Williams as well at plus money. Our losses on the day yesterday, Brock Bowers receptions, longest rush for Bijan and Jordan Mason, and our Eagles and Ravens teaser. 7-8 on the weekend, so you guys can see how we kind of went there. So not too bad here for the month of October. We have a few days left, right? But we're about 3 games above 500 here. So for today, we're going to get right into it. I know that was kind of like a little bit of a longer recap, so I do apologize about that. But let's get right into these winners for today. Let's get into the nitty-gritty because there's a lot of action. We've got a Monday Night Football game between the Steelers and the Giants. Who's going to win that one? Let's get into it. All right, Steelers, Giants, we've got this game going on in Pittsburgh. 2 teams that are headed in different directions. Steelers 5-2 right now, coming off of back-to-back wins. Russell Wilson looked pretty impressive last week against the Jets, but it was also the Jets. Can we take for granted that, 264 yards on 2 touchdowns? Najee. Meanwhile, we've got the Giants finding themselves 2-5. They're coming off of an ass whooping to my Philadelphia Eagles. You know how that goes, 28-3. And we saw Daniel Jones actually benched in that game. But this is the line, right? -6 in favor of the Steelers. Should they be able to win this game? Yes. Are the Giants a team that can keep it close? I believe so, just because the Steelers play an ugly brand of football. But again, new quarterback, Russell Wilson. It's not Justin Fields. That offense looked really good, but can he get away with some of those floating passes to George Pickens like he did last week? I don't necessarily know, right? But one thing that I do think is that this Giants team can shock some people, can stay in a game like this because this is the NFL. I mean, upsets happen literally every single week. Shout out to the Cleveland Browns yesterday, right? Shout out to the New England Patriots yesterday. Anything can happen, right? -6, not letting them away it. And I'm going to go with a player prop here. Daniel Jones, pick that I've given you guys before. This fits the situational spot. And right now we need a winner. So Daniel Jones, over 31.5 pass attempts, -105 odds. The number is just way too low. 31.5 pass attempts. I'm laddering this. So I took 31.5, so that's 32. I took 34 at like plus 140, and then I took 36 at like plus 200. I'm telling you guys, this is the play right here. And the reason why I say that so confidently, let's just look at the numbers, okay? Daniel Jones last week was benched against Philadelphia. He had 21 pass attempts going into the fourth quarter. He was benched the entire fourth quarter. Why? Because I took his pass attempts last week at like 31.5. That's what I'm saying. Like, I know I gave this out a few times already. But the week before that against Cincinnati, 41 pass attempts. The week before that, 34. The week before that, 40. The week before that, 34. Keep in mind that Malik Neighbors missed several of these games. And now he has Malik Neighbors who looked pretty good last week against Philadelphia. The problem was the Giants just were not getting any stops on defense, and they were not able to score touchdowns in the red zone. They had some timely turnovers, but it wasn't like Daniel Jones was necessarily playing a bad game. 14 of 21, 67%. That's not too bad. He was running the ball as well, but he took 7 sacks. There's nothing you're going to do if that's what you're dealing with, right? Meanwhile, you're facing a Steelers defense that from a running perspective are number 2 in the NFL at 81 yards per game. Who's the running back now in New York? You don't know because it ain't Saquon no more. And they don't have any running attack. Yeah, Devin Singletary and then whoever else they have going on over there, it's not getting it done. So it forces Daniel Jones to have to pass the ball, but they keep disrespecting Daniel Jones, whether it's the media, whether it's this, whether it's that, it doesn't matter. Yes, he doesn't win the games that his contract has that necessarily granted, but pass attempts at 30.5, 29.5, I've been hammering this play literally every single week that they've given it to me, and it has cashed literally every single week except for 2 weeks. Last week against the Philadelphia Eagles and week 2 against the Commanders at 28. Every other game, he's throwing it at least 34 times per game. He's averaging like 35, 36 pass attempts. So you're giving me 31.5. So unless the Giants are not getting stops and the Steelers are just milking the hell out of the clock, which also that means if you like the Steelers -6, which I think they should win this game being that it's at home, then that sets this up perfectly. And then when you guys look at it on the other side, the Steelers passing yards per game, they're middle of the pack. They're 20th out of 32 teams, giving about 218 passing yards per game. But then when you look at opponents' passing attempts per game, the Steelers are even lower. They're 22. Teams are throwing it 33 times on them, over 40 times in the last 3 games. Daniel Jones, the Giants are going to be down. They have to throw the ball. They're not going to get any traction against that Steelers front line there. Obviously, we know the weapons that they have on the front line. Give me Daniel Jones' pass attempts as our first best bet of the day. Now, for our second pick of the day, we're going to go to another sport because it is the Equinox Day. Let's go to the NBA, and it's going to be another bet that I've taken already and it's cashed in both games this season. And we're going to run it back. Mr. Chris Paul, over 7.5 assists, 8.5 is playable, -130 odds on DraftKings. 2 games thus far for the Spurs, 8 assists in game 1 against the Mavericks. Game 2, he had 9 assists against the Rockets. Today, they play the Rockets again. It's really a don't overthink it spot. Chris Paul right now to start off the regular season is averaging about 27, 28 minutes per game, so he's not even cracking 30 minutes. But the beautiful part about it is he's not even looking to score the ball. He had 3 shot attempts in their 109-106 win against the Rockets in their last game. Yes, the Rockets are going to be motivated to come back in this matchup today and be able to win. I get it. But given the fact that the Spurs are actually at home again, this is not one of those home, road, home kind of splits. That's literally a home for the Spurs here. I like it. And I'm not saying they win this game, but I do think that the more games that you're going to give us Chris Paul to be able to find his rhythm, and against a young team with not really the best defending point guards in Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green, again, they don't really have the size. Sengun's a great player, but Wemby was able to have a very good game. 29 points to go on 10 of 7 shooting. Harrison Barnes, he added 2 3-pointers. So like I said, Chris Paul, your floor general, as long as he's out there, 8 assists, they give it to us, I'm taking it. Don't overthink it. Let's smash it for the second pick of the day. Third and final bet, Sports Equinox parlay. And I'm going to not lie to you guys. If you're expecting a plus 40,000 parlay, this is not you. And you guys know that's not my way of betting anyway. It's a safe parlay, not going to lie. But I like all these plays in the regular spread, the regular game line, whatever you want to take. First one, let's break it down. Atlanta Hawks in the NBA, taking them on the money line. They're taking on the Washington Wizards. They are at home, the Hawks are. Do we need any other explanation besides that? The Wizards have yet to win a game this year, 0-2. Obviously, they have to win at some point. But the Hawks are 2-0 at home. They look really good. And the thing is, a lot of people are sleeping on this Hawks team. I'm not bought in just yet. But I like the way Trae Young is hooping. 30 points per game to go with 10 assists. But Dyson Daniels, remember that name. That young boy right there, he might be the defending guard that the Hawks were looking for. That adds the shooting that the Hawks were looking for without the need of ball handling like DeJounte Murray was giving them. And that could be big for this Hawks team. Not, just look at it. Just take my word for it. He's somebody who can match up against Jordan Poole today, make things difficult. The Hawks are a better team at home. Let's take that. World Series, Game 3. Yankees obviously need to win this game. I'm not willing to weigh the -140. Ohtani's the game time decision. I think he plays, whatever. We're taking the over 7.5 here. Why? I don't trust either of the pitchers that are going here. Clark Schmidt is on the mound for the Yankees. Walker Buehler is on the mound for the Dodgers. We've seen both of these guys thus far this postseason. Clark Schmidt, both of his postseason starts, he's given up 2 earned runs to go with about 4 2/3 innings. Meanwhile, Walker Buehler, he looked really good against the Mets there at Citi Field. 4 innings, 3 hits, no runs given up. But against the Padres, we saw him get banged up pretty good for 6 earned runs. Which one are we getting? I don't know, but I do think we get some runs scored here in a must-win game for the Yankees. If the Dodgers score a few off of Schmidt, then we know the Yankees are going to have to respond today with some offense. Aaron Judge, hopefully his bat wakes up over 7.5 there. Now, for the hockey NHL play, I'm going to go with Utah. I'm not going to lie. I almost added Winnipeg in here. 8-0, undefeated. I don't know why the line is so short. That's what scared me. They're minus 120, and they haven't lost a game yet this year. And you're telling me the other team should be even money, and they're undefeated? So that scared me a little bit. So because I don't know enough about NHL, I was just like, let me stay off of that. But that is one that I did have circled as well if you want to add that in here or swap the Utah Hockey Club. But we're taking Utah Hockey Club because if I can't go with the undefeated team because the line looks fishy, then I certainly got to go with the winless team, and that's the San Jose Sharks. 7-2. They haven't won a game yet on the road this year, and they're going to have to win at some point. I just don't think it happens today. I like Utah here. They're at home. That gives me a little bit more confidence with this one. And then to wrap us up, Pittsburgh Steelers at home on the money line against the Giants. A lot of question marks happening with that Giants team right now. I like the way Russell Wilson adds a different dynamic to this offense. He looks good, and this Giants, could they win today and shock everybody? Sure, because they're that type of team. It's also the NFL. But I would bet they cover the spread faster than I bet that they would win the game. And if anything, I'll just put them in a tease piece. Like take the Giants up to plus 12.5. But for me, Steelers on the money line today, get it done at home. That's the Sports Equinox parlay. Let's have a day and let's wrap it up. All right, that's it for me today, my friends. Really 3 bets, but we kept it like a little bit different by adding that 4-leg parlay in there. But like I said, all those bets, Hawks on the money line, I would take them on the spread. Utah Hockey Club, I would take them on the puck line. Steelers, that's the only one I probably wouldn't take on the spread just because if you guys know, I would probably take the points on that. And then Dodgers Yankees, that line has already moved from like the 7.5, 8.5. So it's been moving pretty significantly to the over anyway. Where it's at 9 is a little bit high for me, but I do like all those plays individually. But we'll also add Chris Paul over 7.5 assists and Daniel Jones over 31.5 pass attempts. I am laddering that one as well. So that's what I'm really looking for. So maybe today the strategy is a little bit less, but we're putting more on the same type of plays. So let's see how that works for us today. All right, my friends, let's celebrate Sports Equinox Day. Hopefully you guys cook up some great parlays. If you have some legs that you like today, let me know. Drop them in the comments below of like what you're putting together, any sports. Let's have some fun with it and let's celebrate a good day of betting. All right, my friends, let's get to that cheddar. Appreciate the love and support. And I'll see you on tomorrow's video. And if you haven't, smash that subscribe button. Let's go.